Hi, today I'm going to make a pepper mill and I'm going to use a piece of bog oak. I got the kit from peppermillkits.com. I will put a link down below to Craig's website, so go check that out. They got a lot of different styles. The one I'm making is a smaller one, but they have the taller styles too, and just a ton of other fun projects. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I have everything all set up, but you need 4 different size Forstner bits, and they are inch and 3/4, inch and 9/16, inch and 1/16, and 15/16. So I have those all set up. I have a drill chuck here to drill them out, and it's nice. He just gives you step-by-step instructions on how to do it. So let's go ahead and drill it all out. And this is that bogwood piece of that bogwood that Robbie sent me, and it has a bad spot on it, but I think we're going to get away with it. Where to go? Right there. But I think I'm going to come in and make it a little more narrow at the top to try and get rid of that. But I think we'll be all right. So let's go ahead and bore it out. Okay, and then for the next one, the inch and 9/16, it needs to go in an inch and a half, but it needs to go the inch and a half from the bottom of the one we just drilled. So you need to add inch and a half and 5/8 together, which is 2 1/8. So we need to run this one in 2 1/8. All right, and then we move on to the next one, which is inch and a 16th, and we run this one all the way through the piece here. But I put a center hole on the other side, so because I'm gonna have to flip it around because I can't find my little extension. So I need to flip it around real quick and then come in from the other side. Okay, I just put it in there and just put just a little bit of pressure on the wood here. And I'm gonna come in and pop it all the way through. Okay, so there we go. And it should look like that. Have a little lip in there for this to seat down on, and then another little lip for where this bottoms out. Okay, and then on the instructions too, right here, it says there are little tabs, push-in tabs right there, and it says right on there to grind them off. So I just took them on the grinder real fast and ground them down, just kind of clean them up a little bit so that the shavings aren't in the pepper. And it says right there to dry fit it first, and it says this is very important, so I didn't want to stick it in there and then not be able to get it out. So it fits right in there, just perfect, nice and tight. Then you epoxy it in afterwards. I'm going to bring this down just a little bit because I think I went in one of the holes a little bit too deep, and I think it was this one. So I'll just bring that down just a little bit, and it's going to sit like that. So all you have to keep in mind is that you don't want this or shorter than that, so it won't be able to sit down, or it'll sit down awkward. So just keep that in mind, and then I'll bring this side down a little bit too so that the lid fits right on it. And try and get rid of that little spot there. Okay, so now I'm going to make 2 little cone tips real fast so that we can just put it in between the centers. I'll use my live center on this side, and it fits right in there, so I only have to make one for the headstock, and then I'll just make a bigger one that fits inside there, and then we can turn it and finish it. Okay, so in hindsight, I should have used a little bit thicker piece of wood. This is 2 1/4. I should have gone with 2 1/2, probably maybe 2 3/4, because I really can't do anything with this area right here. I can't put any beads or anything on it because the wall thickness now is only 1/4 inch. So all I have to work with to put a little bit of detail is down here. So I'm just gonna clean that up, roll this over, and then put a little, you know, I don't know, do something. So next time, right? Okay. So I'm just gonna clean it up with the skew, and then do something down here. Just gonna use the spindle gouge and roll this over and take a little bit of it off. There's a little bit. Alright. And then my mark is right there. Come in. Right there. And I'll bring it down. And I did need to take a little bit of this off, so I need to test it after I get it trimmed down a little bit. Just don't come in too far on that. All right, I had to bring it down quite a bit, so I'm just gonna finish it up and put a couple little beads on it to give it something, so it's not so plain. Okay, I'm just gonna sand it and then we'll do the top. So I'm just going to run through all the grits. I'm starting with 150. I'll go to 180, 220, 320, 400, and 600. So somebody wasn't quite sure what the sequence was. So that's it. Okay, I had to go down quite a ways to get rid of that little defect that was in it, but I think we can make a nice little handle for it, and I'm going to put a coat of sellable oil on it too, so make it shine a little bit more too. But let's go ahead and do the top. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and true it up, and then we'll bore into it. Okay, so I think that's good. I think I'm getting close to getting rid of that crack there, and I'll put the base up against it to see how it looks, or whether it needs to come down much further, I guess. The tip on the skew, if you hit the wood with it, it catches right up there. Just like that. All right, so when it does catch, it definitely takes a chunk out. You can see, can you see that? I mean, it cut right up and then dug in there, so be careful. Don't hit the tip. All right, now I'm gonna put the chuck back on and drill that out. Instead of turning it on and off. There we go. Okay, just putting the tail stock back in to support it, and then I'll just go ahead and shape it. Still need to maybe come down a little bit. Might end up having to put a little bit of CA glue in that to get it to fill in. I don't want to come down too much more. And there's our mark. There we go. I think I got it. Was messing with the grind on this because I need a new one, and it's not cutting right. Okay, I'm going to put a bead in the middle of this too, just to give it a little something. All right, there we go. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and sand it, and then we'll turn around, make a little jam chuck for it, and finish up the top. I didn't hit record. All right, I just parted it off, and I'm just gonna make a jam chuck out of this. It's kind of soft right there anyway, so I'm just gonna use it. Okay, so I got it on there. I'm just gonna go ahead and clean it up and then sand it. All right, there we go. Have it sanded. So I'll go together, line the grain back up on it. And I'm not sure, I did something wrong. In the instructions it says to put a little tenon here that goes inside here, but I took it down to paper thin and it still wouldn't fit inside there with the top part of the thing. So I don't know whether I drilled this hole too small or I grabbed the wrong bit or what, but I couldn't get it to work. So tell me what I did wrong. It was obviously something, but there we go. I'll put it together, and you have to epoxy the pieces in, so it'll take overnight for that to dry, but I'll just go ahead and dry fit it now. All right, there we go. Got it all together. Thank you, Craig, from peppermillkits.com. I'll put a link down below to his website. They have this style here, the shorter ones, and then they have the taller ones too. So go check that out. But thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.